And you can take it from here, Mitchell. I'll turn off my mic.
Can you all hear me? Oh,
Yes.
okay, fantastic. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Sorry for that. My name is Mitchell Kroc. As Jackie said, I'm General Counsel, Managing Deputy Procurement Officer for the Department of Procurement Services. I'm going to go over some of our programs and incentives that specifically relate to workforce topics. And I would note that although some of these may be familiar to you if you've dealt with the city and reviewed our bid packages before, I do have a couple of recent updates for you to keep in mind. So there will be some fresh information here. So just to quickly give a roadmap of my portion of the presentation. So as I said, the city of Chicago and specifically DPS has numerous initiatives in place. The goal of those is to increase the number of skilled residents of the area of Chicago, prepared to work in growing industry. We also are trying to ensure that disadvantaged populations and youth have access to employment opportunities. So I'm going to go over first a couple of ordinances that relate to Chicago residency and local hiring requirements. And then after that, I'm going to go over a select portion of our slate of bid incentives, which I'll go into more depth about later. So I'm going to start with one you may be familiar with, which is the Chicago Residency Ordinance, which requires contractors on construction contracts, and I'll know it's only for construction contracts, valued at $100,000 or more, to use at least 50% of all labor hours by Chicago residents. And I do want to stress hours. It is not by number of workers. So again, if you have some workers, a smaller number of workers that perform a higher number of hours, we're measuring by number of labor hours. And then same ordinance section, another requirement is the project area resident ordinance, which requires contractors on construction projects, again, construction projects only, valued at $100,000 or more, to use at least 7.5% of all labor hours by residents in the project area. So I do want to go over a few details here. First of all, that 7.5% goes towards the 50% of Chicago labor hours. So you're not separately meeting another 7.5%. That 7.5% will count towards your 50 for the Chicago residency ordinance. And I also do want to go over what the project area is. It is project specific. The way that works is the user department, so say transportation department, water management department, whichever department is associated with the project, will propose a project area based on the community areas of the city. And that goes to our department, procurement services, for review and approval by the CPO. One thing I do want to alert folks to, there is an ordinance that was introduced to City Council and is currently in committee that will change this requirement if passed. I don't want to overstate it because I don't know what's going to happen in City Council with that ordinance, but I do encourage you all, if you are going to bid on a construction specification in the coming months, to carefully review your bid package, because this project area requirement may or may not be there depending on what happens in City Council. So that was just a very quick overview of some labor hour related requirements for local residency. But I want to pivot now to some bid incentives. So for folks that aren't aware of basically what bid incentives are and how they work, effectively they're set by ordinance. We have many of them. Some are for construction projects only, some are for non-construction projects only, some are for both. I would definitely encourage you to carefully review whatever bid package you're looking at for the entire set of incentives that are associated with that project. But basically, if you meet the criteria of the incentive, you will get a percentage off of your bid price for bid evaluation purposes only. So it will not affect how much you get paid. You don't get paid less if you apply for bid incentives, but it may give you an advantage in being the lowest bidder on a project. One of our big ones that we see applied a lot is the city-based business incentives, which is in 3 tiers. So this is an incentive for local businesses that employ city residents, especially from socioeconomically disadvantaged areas, for city-funded contracts, construction or non-construction, valued at $100,000 or more. You'll get a 4% bid incentive if you're a city-based business that conducts day-to-day business operations at a city facility, which is the place of employment for the majority of its full-time regular employees. You get a 6% incentive if you're eligible for that 4% incentive, and the majority of your full-time employees at that location are city residents. So again, that's going to the residency of your employees and not where they work. So there's a slight difference there. And for the 8% tier, if you're eligible for the 6% incentive and the majority of the city resident employees reside in a socioeconomically disadvantaged area of the city, you can get an 8% incentive off your bid. You may be asking, what is a socioeconomically disadvantaged area? How do we determine that? That's set by ordinance. It's actually fairly clear. It's a map that is generated by the city's Department of Planning and Development. And you can actually search on the DPS website for whether your a certain address is within one of those areas. But that map is not generated by procurement services per the ordinance. So this is a relatively recent set of bid incentives: diverse workforce and management, which is technically 2 incentives, but it's in one ordinance section. This is an incentive for businesses who employ a diverse workforce and or diverse management. It applies to all city-funded contracts, construction or not, valued at $100,000 or more. And as you can see from these charts, you get a tiered incentive based on how much of the management and or workforce as appropriate is diverse. A couple points here. First of all, if you are wondering what does diverse mean in this context, you can check the rules on the DPS rules page, which I can drop that into the chat after I'm done with my presentation, but that's at chicago.gov/DPS rules. And you can check your bid solicitation as well. I also would note that for folks that are maybe familiar with this incentive from some months ago, there has been an update to the rules and an update to how to apply for this incentive. That's fairly recent, I would say within the past month or so, maybe 2 months. So if you have participated on city projects before, but you took a break and now you're interested in getting back into it, this may have changed in terms of how you apply for it since you last looked at it. So please carefully review your bid package if you choose to bid on a city opportunity. So this is another bid incentive, the Equal Employment Opportunity Bid Incentive. It's for construction projects only, valued at $100,000 or more, city-funded projects only. And basically, rather than dictating how many minority and female apprentices, laborers, and journey workers the vendors use, bidders can propose up to a certain amount, the number of hours, the percentage of hours rather, that they're going to have performed by minority or female journey workers, apprentices, or laborers. There is a formula in the ordinance and in the specification that will take those commitments and basically it will spit out a amount that your bid is reduced by. And also note that you can receive 150% credit towards your commitment for those labor hours if you are using employees from socioeconomically disadvantaged areas. The definition there is the same as the one I had previously mentioned. It's based on a map generated by the Department of Planning and Development. But the specification will outline exactly how you enter these values and how that results in a reduction in your bid. So this is an incentive that actually results in a future credit to be used towards another bid. It applies to all city-funded construction contracts with an estimated value of $100,000 or more. And this is for using apprentices that are sponsored into an apprenticeship training program that is authorized by a union to sponsor apprentices, and either those apprentices are enrolled in or graduated from a construction technology training program administered by City Colleges of Chicago, or they graduated from a CPS high school. And as you can see, this is a tiered incentive based on the total labor hours performed by qualifying apprentices. Again, this doesn't work like the last bid incentives. It does not result in a reduction on the bid you're bidding on. If you want to take advantage of this, you make a commitment to use a percentage of labor hours to have those performed by qualifying apprentices. At the end of the project, if it turns out that you met that goal, you get a credit that you can use on a future bid. Here's another future credit bid incentive, the ex-offender apprentice utilization incentive. Again, up to 1%, it is a credit that can be used on a future bid. Again, it applies to city-funded construction contracts with an estimated value of $100,000 or more. And this is for committing to use ex-offender apprentices for a certain number of labor hours. They must be sponsored into an apprenticeship program that is authorized by a union to sponsor apprentices, and they must be participating in a workforce development program funded by DFSS. Again, here is a chart that shows the tiered incentive. And I do encourage you to check the bid solicitation for both this and the prior incentive for finer details. Information regarding all of these can be found on the DPS website. Here's a link, although, again, if you are interested in the rules in particular, I would encourage you to use the simpler link, chicago.gov/DPS rules. And that brings me to the conclusion of my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions at the end of the entire presentation. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to Jackie. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Mitchell. And next up, we will have Tanya Robinson. Tanya, you can feel free to share your screen. You have control. Tanya?
Oh, I'm sorry, I had to unmute myself. Can you see my screen? Let me share it
Yeah,
again.
go ahead and
Okay, can you see my screen? Okay.
No, you have to share your screen now. Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yes, it's coming.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Begin.
Hello, I'm Tanya Cody Robinson. I work with the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership. We're located down at 69 West Washington, and I serve in the role of a business relations specialist. Here's a copy of our motivation. We believe that every person has the opportunity to build a career, and that every business has the talent to grow and compete within the global economy. Listed below is our mission, which is to create, promote, and effectively manage a network, a workforce development organization that, one, designs innovative solutions to address business needs, and two, prepare individuals for and connect them to career opportunity. As my previous colleague stated, we're one of the funded organizations within the city and the county. About the partnership, we were created in 2012. We are the umbrella organization operating the public workforce system in the city of Chicago and Cook County. We operate under combined federal and philanthropic resources to broaden our reach, and we impact workforce development in those ways. We're the largest workforce system in the nation, and we have helped over 70,000 individuals in employment, collaborate with over 2,000 employers, and we have administered over 4 million in federal and philanthropic funds. We also have a network of over 90 plus community-based organizations, 10 American Job Centers, and we have a sector-driven workforce center approach, or they're strategically located within 132 municipalities. We focus on basic labor market information, and we provide training and business services, as well as career coaching and data analytics for high growth industries. Those high growth industries include business and professional services, healthcare, culinary, information technology, manufacturing, transportation, distribution, logistics, and construction. More information about the partnership, you can call our office, our number is listed, as well as you can reach us on social media at Shy Cook Works, or subscribe for our monthly newsletters. So that's just a little information about the partnership. Our system overview is broken up into, this is really how we serve. We connect the job seekers with the employers. We have training providers within our network. We have career coaches, a business services team, where I operate under. We also have a Cook County workforce partnership, which is the entire pipeline of how we cluster together and operate as a unified system to address all of the needs for the business, the community, and the job seeker. Our system's goal is to strengthen collaborations, which is listed. We aligned our institution for great access, and we work hard to close any service gaps. We focus on youth. We connect youth to education by way of internships to include paid work experience and provide information for career pathways. And we help more people. We increase the position or our participants by providing skill attainments and stackable skills that is really helpful in getting them into employment. We also have a cluster of workforce resources. We have career resources, which is listed as access to job readiness workshops, job clubs, computer access, and as well as professional writing, resume writing assistance. We also have job search assistance, where we provide career coaches and to help individuals seeking one-on-one career support and employment plans to support their goals. We also have training grants for those who are seeking to advance their careers to acquire the certifications for the high growth industries that I mentioned in the previous slide and the high demand occupation. For employers, we have incentives and tax incentives to support the stability of your business and as well as helping with growth. We have human resources consulting, which we assist with assisting with job creation, job description, also analyzing employee turnover. We also are very actively involved in the layoff inversion process, which we call rapid response. In the event if there's any businesses that are downsizing and if there's a need of outplacement services, we have grants available to work with workforce-based learning for retention support for those people who are impacted by layoffs across sectors. If you are seeking more information, again, for what we do, more information could be found at www.shycookworks.org. This is our general number for our office, which is located at 69 West Washington. You can follow us on social media or even subscribe to our newsletter. If there is information for me, I could add my phone number to the chat. My direct dial number at 69 West Washington is 312-603-0216. And I'll stay on the presentation until after the presentation to answer any questions or concerns that you may have. Thank you. And I'll turn it over to Juan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tanya. And our last presenter is Juan Cruz from the Department of Family Support Services. Juan, do you want to maximize your screen at the right? Yeah, the little icon at the bottom, all the way to the right. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
You took the maximize off, but we can hear you very faintly. Your recording might be a little. I mean, your mic might be turned down. No, the little button to the left of that, the icon to the left. Yes, right there.
Can you
All
hear me?
right. Yes.
Oh, okay. Now so when I maximized it, I couldn't find the value button. Okay, sorry for the delay. Thank you for joining us. My name is Juan Cruz, and I'm a program coordinator with the Department of Family and Support Services. Here's my information. Again, workforce coordinator for the Department of Family and Support Services. We're located at 1615 West Chicago Avenue. And I'm on the third floor. Our mission at the Department of Family and Support Services is working with community partners. We connect Chicago residents and families to resources that build stability, support their well-being, and empower them to thrive. Our priorities are to deliver and support high quality, innovative, and comprehensive services that empower clients to thrive. We like to collaborate with community partners like yourself, sister agencies, and public officials on programs and policies that improve Chicagoans' lives and advance systematic change. We like to inform the public of resources available to them through DFSS and its community partners. And lastly, we like to be good stewards of resources. Again, for those that don't know, the Department of Family and Support Services is the city's largest social service provider. I like to think that we're the softer side of the city, where we have our first responders, our streets and sanitation. And like I said, we are being the softer side of city services, right? So we have everything from under our umbrella of the Department of Family and Support Services. We work with children's services, youth services, domestic violence, workforce services, homeless services, senior services, and community service centers. We have an investment over $350 million, and we serve approximately 300,000 residents a year. And we do this through our delegate agencies. And again, our services include early childhood development and the children's services to our youth services, where we have One Summer Chicago coming up. Our domestic hotline is 24/7. We have workforce programs, what I'm going to talk more about, and where we can talk about the ex-offender apprenticeship utilization incentives that we would like you to take advantage of. We have our homeless service centers where we have shelters throughout the city. We have senior service satellite sites where we serve Meals on Wheels to our seniors. And we have 6 community service centers where we, in the summertime, have cooling centers, and in the wintertime, we have warming centers. So again, we're talking about the bid incentive of the ex-offender apprenticeship utilization and how to be a part of that, right? So requirement of that bid incentive is to select individuals that's enrolled or have completed one of our workforce services program models. And so at the Department of Family and Support Services, we work with delegate agencies and we provide job training through placement services of high need populations, including homeless individuals, individuals with limited English proficiency, and returning citizens. So through employment preparation and placement, transitional jobs, and industry-specific training programs, individuals gain valuable work experience and skills needed for the workplace, and more advanced education and training programs. So to go a little deeper into our program models, we have employment preparation and placement. The goal of the employment preparation and placement program is to provide high-need individuals with the necessary job readiness training and placement supports to obtain and sustain employment with wages at or above the standard city minimum wage. Participants will complete the job readiness training, and that will directly link them to placements into full-time and permanent employment, with the expectation that they retain for at least 90 days. So that's our basic and most funded program model is our employment preparation and placement. Our next program model is industry-specific training for individuals that want a skilled profession. So the goal of the industry-specific training is to provide high-needs individuals with opportunity to enter in-demand industry. So we see construction as being in demand, and so we would like you to take advantage of that ex-offender apprenticeship utilization incentive. And so with this one, it's in high demand industries that offer placements with career pathways to progressively gain more skills and better livable wages. Delegate agencies provide intensive training that prepare individuals for the targeted in-demand industries of healthcare, hospitality and tourism, information technology, manufacturing, transportation and logistics, and of course, construction. Our last program model is transitional jobs program, where we have the transitional jobs program, which is will provide a time-limited subsidized employment opportunity coupled with intensive wraparound services and skill development. So what this means is that there's a paid training. So we will reimburse employers that take on this program and these clients, right, just to see if they are inclined to work. And so onboarding again is a big cost, and we offset that by paying back a portion of those wages. And the goal of the program is to help participants overcome multiple challenges to obtain and sustain employment with wages at or above city minimum wage. Do we have the capacity to meet the demands of the employers? Yes, we do. So again, one of the requirements to take advantage of this incentive is that you have to work with our workforce programs and select one of the clients or individuals that have completed our job training program. So last year, through our partner agency, DFS served over 2,500 individuals, with approximately 850 people obtaining employment. There were 3,500 individuals to reach out to our community reentry support center. So this is our call center. So that's why that number is high. So individuals just call looking for a way to be productive citizens. And again, in our reentry support center, they provide a central location where any Chicago resident who have served time can receive the support services needed to transition back into their community and into workforce. So our services provided participants with training that moves them forward and to succeed in life. So again, it was 3,500 individuals that reached out to us. So that's a huge demand, a huge need in a thrown away workforce, individuals that's lost and just looking to get back on track. And you can help those individuals gain some livable wages and some work opportunities. So DFSS Community Reentry Support Centers location, they will serve as our hubs for employers that's looking to take advantage of this incentive. We have 57 contracted delegates that provide services to reentry individuals that's returning, that's looking for a second chance. And we ask that you reach out to these centers if you're looking to take advantage of this. Again, here are the locations of our community reentry support centers. We are geographically located on the southwest, north sides, and far south side, right? We have community assistance program that's in the Roseland area, that's far south. We have on our east side, we have west side or south side, we have Teamwork Inglewood. And then up north in Rogers Park, we have Howard Area Community Center. And on the south side also, we have Center for New Horizons. So these agencies serve as hubs for individuals. So please reach out to them if you're looking for, or if you're looking to take advantage again of this incentive. Again, my name is Juan Cruz. I'm going to pass the baton back over to Jacqueline, and I appreciate you joining us for this opportunity.
Thanks, Juan, and that's perfect. This group, I didn't have to. Juan, you can leave that up on your screen
Okay.
if you don't mind, so that folks know we are in the question and answer period. If you have a question, feel free to put it in the Q&A panel at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen to ask the question. And before I ask Mitchell this first question, I want to do two things. I want to thank you all for attending today. I know the time was flipped from 1 to 2. We normally have this, all of our workshops at 2. The appointment was put in Cisco WebEx. So I apologize for any inconvenience for that. But glad you were able to attend. And hopefully, if you can't take advantage of some of the information that you have heard today, but you know someone who can, feel free to pass on that information to them. This webinar will be up on Friday for anybody that want to take a look at it. So you can just guide them to our YouTube area, and that's youtube.com/Chicago DPS. And they can go into our 2022 workshop playlist to find a copy of this workshop. With that said, Mitchell, you have the first question. And it basically says, I believe in, I live in Bolingbrook, Illinois. Do I have to live in the city of Chicago to take projects? I just started a construction company for driveways and sidewalks. So does that person have to live in this area?
Sure, good question. So the answer is no. And to go into a little more detail, I did go over some city-based requirements that will be associated with construction, city-funded construction projects over 100K. So if your business is not based in the city of Chicago, you will not qualify for any of the tiers of the city-based bid incentive, but you may qualify for other bid incentives. And you will have to just keep in mind the labor hour requirements that involve local residency. That doesn't implicate where your business is headquartered, but it does implicate who you're hiring to do work on a project in terms of labor hours. Beyond that, the only thing I would say also is, and again, I would encourage you to look carefully through bid solicitations. Because there may be other incentives and such that you could take advantage of. But your business not being based in Chicago is not inherent. It's not an impediment to bidding on a project. So I hope that answers your question.
Great. If anyone else has a question, I'll give you a few minutes to type it in the Q&A panel. In the meantime, I am going to open up the mic for Tanya Robertson and Juan Cruz, and if they have any extra information that they would like to impart to our participants today, feel free to unmic yourself and do that. Tanya, I know that you all have a Hospitality Hire Chicago event coming up April 28th.
Yes.
Did you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Oh, definitely. Yes, we're having our fifth Hospitality Hire Chicago event hosted by some of our sponsors, which includes True Chicago, the Magma Association, the Illinois Hotel and Restaurant Association, just to name a few. We have over 50 employers who will be attending this event at the Palmer House Hotel. Registration, it's closed at this time, but or as of today, but we're expecting over 300 job seekers for on the spot interviews and job offerings. So we're excited about that event. We're also hosting another event. I believe it's all on our website, but it will be at Malcolm X College to the west, and it's for our COVID-19 contact tracers. So I'll include that information because we had our contact and trace in court. And now that group, being that the contract is extended, we're hosting an event so that we can get that group of employers or employees back to employment before they're laid off. So we have a lot of exciting things that's going on via the partnership, and more information can be found on our website. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanya. That is an awesome event, and I'm not surprised that it is already closed because they had entry level to 150K, and so that is the best way to kind of do that search. So thank you for giving us that update on that.
You're welcome.
And Juan, if you would like to unmic yourself, and if you have any tips, last minute information that you'd like to impart, feel free to do that now.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I just really would just like to reiterate what you said about services. And again, if you don't need the direct services yourself, please refer and offer those services to someone else. Again, we are the city's largest social service provider. We handle everything from early childhood to the senior years and everything in between. So we have One Summer Chicago that's coming up. If you know any youth that's looking for summer jobs, please look at Department of Family and Support Services website to take advantage of that as well. But again, pass the word. And again, if we're going to be a city that works, it has to work for all of our residents.
Thanks so much, Juan. Great information as well from you, and hopefully a lot of people can take advantage of that. Mitchell, did you want to unmic and say any last minute words at all? I wasn't ignoring you.
No, that's fine. I don't really have anything to add. But again, I do encourage everyone to check out the opportunities in the buying plan. And again, if I would stress, if you read through the DPS rules and you read through the specification and you say, wow, I have some questions, that's perfectly fine. The specification will lay out a process to ask questions to DPS and then be answered issues in a formal document sent to all the vendors that are interested in the opportunity. So there's definitely an avenue to ask questions. It'll be outlined in whatever bid package you're looking at. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mitchell. Well, that concludes our presentation for today. I want to thank my guest, Mitchell Prock from the Department of Procurement Services, Tanya Robinson from the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, and Juan Cruz from the Department of Family Support Services. I want to thank also my participants for coming today. And I say to you, stay safe, stay well. I don't know what to do with the mask. I keep mine on, but you can do whatever you need to do to stay safe. But hopefully coming up soon, we'll be able to see each other in person and have these conversations where you can get more information by networking with us. Thanks so much for attending, and we'll see you at the next workshop that you choose to participate. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all.
Thank you.